Hey guys, it's Misty, Styling Girl 00, and today is going to be a different type of video, as you can probably tell by the title of the video. I've had several requests to do this video and a bunch of questions from a lot of you guys, so I thought I would just kind of wrap it up and do a video on it. It's be about my gastric bypass surgery, as some of you may know that I had, and I figured that I would do this video and try to run through it, start to finish, through my journey of the whole gastric bypass ordeal. And then if I leave out anything, then you have questions, leave me a comment below, and then if I have enough, have enough questions, then I will do a follow-up video to this one. So I guess I'll just get started. And if you guys aren't interested, feel free to click off. It's not a big deal, because I know some of you could probably care less. But like I said, I do have a lot of subscribers that are interested and have several questions, or many questions. So it'd be easier just to do a video. So, I guess I'll start at the very beginning. This could be really long, so I'm not going to get way... I don't know. We'll just get started. First of all, I have been overweight pretty much all of my life. Pretty much started from, I would say, probably about 6th grade on. High school was miserable. I was made fun of. I even went to a private school, graduated from a private school, and I was still made fun of. Wasn't the popular kid, so on and so on. All of the people that are overweight know exactly what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to get into that too much. And then as I got older, I gained more weight and more weight. And then I had my child in Bryson, as you guys know. I had him in '99, and actually I had lost weight after I had him. And then eventually I kept gaining more weight and more weight, which brought me to, I want to have gastric bypass surgery. I tried everything. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried just going to the gym. I tried the South Beach diet. I tried everything. And this is probably nothing new that you guys are hearing. Everyone that's overweight has tried, pretty much everybody that's overweight, I would say, has tried every diet. And finally, I had had enough. I was borderline diabetic. I had high blood pressure and was on blood pressure medication. I have heart disease that runs in the family. And I was finally diagnosed with being morbidly, what doctors call morbidly obese. Which I think classifies as being 100 pounds or more overweight. So I decided that I wanted to do gastric bypass, and I know a lot of people are going to say that it's a cop-out and it's an easy way out. And I first thought that in the beginning before I had the surgery, but trust me, it's not a cop-out, it's not an easy way out. I know that, if I dieted and followed it and stuck to it, then I probably could have lost the weight, but you know what, I decided to have gastric bypass surgery, so it was my decision. I'm going to say the day I went into surgery, I think I weighed, because I hated to weigh myself. I think I weighed 265, 270, I think it was somewhere around in there. And I had it approximately 4 years ago in August. Yeah, it was 4 years ago in August. Let's see, so I weighed about 265 when I went into surgery, and altogether I lost, it was over 100 pounds. I think I weigh now, which I don't weigh myself anymore, I think I weighed 140, okay, let me start over. I weighed 265 when I went into surgery. My lowest weight was 145, and I think I weigh about 160 now. Yes, maybe, yeah, about 160. So I have gained a little bit of the weight back, but over 4 years, that's not too bad, but I really would like to lose about 20 pounds, so I'm trying to, watch what I eat. Anyway, like I said, I weighed 265, and then my lowest was like 140 or 145, and now I weigh about 160. And it was an easy surgery for me. I had several friends, and I live in Maryland, in case you guys are wondering where I had surgery or anything. I had it in Baltimore, and I had several friends that had had the surgery before I had, about 4 friends actually, same surgeon, and then I had like 2 or 3 friends have it right after me as well. It was a easy surgery. They did it laparoscopically. and I have 4 little incisions on my stomach, which you can barely see anymore. Most of them have faded. I think I may have 1 left. And I went in that morning, had the surgery that morning, later that morning. I stayed overnight, and I left the following afternoon. And I had this on a Wednesday. I went back to work that Friday, and I worked half a day. I probably should have waited until Monday, but I went back anyway. It was a super easy surgery. Anytime you have an abdominal surgery, and that was the only surgery I had ever had in my entire life. I had never been in the hospital or anything. I had my child, but I had him natural, so I didn't have any kind of surgery. So that was my first major surgery, and they consider it major surgery. And just to clarify, I did have the full gastric bypass, not the band. There's a gastric sleeve. I had the full gastric bypass. Anyway, where was I? It was an easy surgery. Like I said, the only part that was painful was apparently what they do when they do a surgery laparoscopically. They pump your stomach full of air. That way they can get the surgical tools that they're using and have room in there, so they blow your stomach up with air, and so your stomach's full of air. As I'm trying to just spit this out repetitively. So you're essentially full of gas, and it's painful, and you're sore when you sit up, when you try to sit up in bed, and when you try to get up from sitting, but that's only for a couple days, and it's not bad. Other than that, it wasn't a bad surgery. Physically, the part of the surgery wasn't bad at all. Let's see what else. I've had a lot of questions about people that are scared, that are pre-op, that are scared about I think it's a 2-week, bear with me because it's been 4 years, and I know things change and different surgeons do things differently. I was on a 2-week liquid diet, and some of my subscribers have asked me questions about, they're scared about the liquid diet. Well, to be honest with you, it's not that bad. I pretty much lived off sugar-free, fat-free popsicles for 2 weeks. Obviously, you're going to be hungry, but it's more of a mind over matter thing. And like I said, I just lived on box after box of sugar-free, fat-free popsicles. I did move to, I think towards the end of the 2 weeks, I was sliding in some sugar-free Jell-O, and probably about 2.5, 3 weeks, I was having pudding, and some mashed potatoes. So it's not that bad. Like I said, it is a whole mind over matter thing, and if you have a support system around you, that is the best thing that you can have, is a great support system. And I'm here if you guys have any questions, and if you want to call me, PM me, whatever, I'd be more than willing to help you get through it, because definitely you need a good support system around you. Let's see, after like the first 2.5, 3 weeks, you can go into soft foods. I think when they made my pouch, they made it, which is my new stomach, they made it, I think it's 4 ounces, so you have to measure everything and make sure that you don't go over that. And I know I'm saying a lot, and I'm sorry guys, but I guess what I'm thinking, I'm just like, so I'm not sitting here blankly. But anyway, I apologize. Anyway, after you go on the soft foods, you have to have a certain intake of protein. Now, I want to say it was 30 or 40 milligrams. I don't remember. But there's a certain amount of protein that your doctor's going to tell you that you have to intake daily. And the easiest way to do that is you can buy and the doctor will probably tell you this, and there may be even better things now. Like I said, this is 4 years later, and science comes a long way very quickly. I bought the big protein jug like this. It was powder, and 1 scoop was like 19 grams of protein, I think, or whatever it was. It was 1 scoop was all I needed. Let me spit this out. 1 scoop of that powder protein was all that I needed for that day. So it was perfect. All I had to do was take that 1 scoop, put it in whatever I was eating, and I was done for my protein for the day. I could not do the protein shakes. I could not get them down. I would throw them back up. It had nothing to do with the surgery. They were just nasty. Protein tastes nasty. So any way you can disguise it is better. So what I did was I scooped that protein into sugar-free chocolate pudding, and the best was putting it in sugar-free mint chocolate chip pudding, because you could, or mint chocolate chip, mint chip Yeah, spit it out, Misty. Mint chocolate pudding, because it disguises the taste of the protein altogether, and you were done for the day with the protein. Much better than trying to drink a big shake full of nasty protein taste. So that's just a tip there for you. And then eventually, when you're down the road and you still need to get protein in, I can give you guys a listing too of the protein bars, because protein in general tastes nasty, and a lot of the protein bars have an aftertaste, and there are some really good ones out there that I still eat till today. And let's see what else. I'm trying to think of some questions that you might have. There's a lot of things that people can eat. There's a lot of things that people can eat. Everybody is different. I have friends that can't eat chocolate. I have friends that can't drink soda. We are all different. Myself, I drink soda, as I'm drinking Diet Mountain Dew. And let's see what else. My dad was going by the window taking the trash out. That's what I was looking at. I drink Diet Mountain Dew. It's carbonated. You know, some people can't handle carbonation. I can eat chocolate. It's not a problem. A lot of people have dumping, which they call, which is diarrhea essentially. I've never had any of those problems. The only things that I have a problem eating are two things. And it's not that I can't eat them, I just really have to limit my intake. And the first thing is pasta. I love pasta. I love pasta. But I can't eat a whole lot of pasta, because if you figure, say you ate this size amount of macaroni and cheese, a couple hours later, that pasta swells in your stomach to probably 2 times the size, and then, you know, you're sick and you're miserable and it's horrible. And something else that I can't eat a whole lot of is bread. Same thing, swells up in your stomach. So you just have to watch what you eat. And I remember that in the beginning, when you're learning how much you can eat and where your limit is, I would get sick because I would eat too much, and it literally backs up and you end up throwing up. So you just have to kind of watch, and as long as you measure, and you know, that only happened maybe for like a week until I got the hang of it, and if I would have listened more and measured more and wouldn't have pushed myself, then I probably would have been fine. So that was like my own fault. But those are really the only things that I have a hard time eating, and I can eat more today. Like, I can eat a 6-ounce steak. So obviously my pouch or my stomach has stretched out somewhat. So, like I said, if I eat a 6-ounce steak, that's all I'm eating, and a couple bites of salad. I can't eat the baked potato. So I have to pick and choose when I can eat when we go out to dinner. A lot of times I can order off the kids' menu and I'm good to go. Salads and things, I can eat a lot of salad. It just seems like, I call it roughage. I don't know if anybody else ever calls it that, but it's just easier to digest. I can get more in, and it's healthy. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, I eat a lot of that. I'm super picky, and it's so hard for me to eat healthy. I mean, I try. Just for instance, if we're having a cookout and I want a cheeseburger, I most of the time eat it without the bun. And if I do eat it with the bun, I only eat the bottom part, not the top part. So you just kind of make little sacrifices. If I decide that I want chicken nuggets, then I go to McDonald's and get the four-piece kids meal, because that's all I can eat. And I can't eat a lot of French fries. That kills me. French fries kill me. I mean, just because I get full so fast. Not that they kill me, that they hurt, you know, my stomach, but I miss French fries so much. And it really is a whole mind over matter thing. Food is an addiction just like anything else. It's a bad habit that you have to break. So, like I said, today I think I weigh, you know, maybe around 160. I don't weigh myself. If I feel good and I look good, then fine. You know, weight is just a number, and I don't really care what it is as long as I feel healthy. I don't want to be overweight, don't get me wrong, but as long as I feel healthy, and I mean, I do feel healthy, but I would like to lose about 20 pounds, so I'm going to try to work on that this summer. Just trying to think and make sure if I covered everything. I think that's it. Like I said, you know, you definitely need a huge support system around you, and I'm here for any of you guys that, you know, have any questions. You can PM me, or just need to talk, you know, or you're scared and you want to talk to me. You know, I have no problems doing that. It's you definitely need a good support system around you. And I was going to show some like before and after pictures, but I really couldn't find any because I didn't like my picture taken. I did have one, but I don't know what I did with it. So if I find those, when I do my I'll definitely dig around, and when I do the follow-up to this video, I'll show you guys some pictures. So I hope I covered everything and this was helpful. And like I said, please leave me some comments if you have any further questions, and I'll definitely do a follow-up video. So, alright guys, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.